Number 3. Fireball with rocket balloons. This is one of the 3 strategies, the most complicated, but it is also very effective and is seen a lot in competitive, especially because it is a fairly powerful attack speed. It is also a little complicated in the sense that we also do a queen walk. So you have to know a little, do the walk. Evidently here, for example, Christian even does normal wall breakers because he is a crack, more than anything for that. But there are stories that you have to have a little mastery in that sense of managing the queen is to look for the objectives, get a good value out of that walk, and also look for an area that doesn't hurt you too much. Then also, as the name of that attack says, it is fireball, and that we have the sentinel fireball. Therefore, we can use a maneuver with the sentinel to remove a part of the village where there is a lot of DPSY that bothers us, especially a lot of our balloons. I mean an area that has splash, poison tower, and artillery, catapults, all that stuff. You have enough balloons to play with. For example, here we see that the Christian also directs the queen with those balloons, and the story is to take a good bite with the heroes you carry. But thus taking away practically all the potential of the village and then finishing with those balloons, since they are rocket balloons that already leave at that speed. Therefore, normally we will not need spells for these, some freezing to block some defense, for example wizard towers or multiple archers or some catapults that are left at the end, because that is recommended. You can also finish with the fighter. You can carry the rocket launcher, for example, with the fighter, but taking a good piece with that fireball will make it worth it. The Queen's Walk and finishing with the balloons is the tactic of this army. It is something similar to the Cohen Chark Lalon, that is the Queen's Walk with balloons, but a little more updated and within the finish line, and above all also designed for the competitive to make the quick attack. But since the attack is a little complicated in that sense, that is why it is in 3rd place. Can you master it? This army is super strong. In position number 2, we have the Dragon Hydra with Dragon Mount, which by the way is linked in the description for a guide to this attack. The most detailed explanation, but hey, I'll explain it to you like this, more quickly reigns with the giant arrow with healers to try to take away blowers from us, to try to take away the occasional anti-aircraft weapon. You try to get the maximum possible value out of that walk, although it is not a very big walk either. That is, you also make an initial bite to help you do a little fan art to remove some important defense, and then with that summoning spell you collect the queen and use it later to continue making fan art, or for example to support her behind the king. And the king acts as a tank, and that suits us quite well. After normal El Rey, if you see that you have the city hall nearby, go for him. That is why many times what we use is the jellyfish with the king, who is still going to defend himself from the rival king or the rival castle, but the king does focus on going for defense, which interests us a lot. For example, if we are going to look for what the city council also votes this remote to open walls, we can also carry some wall breakers like I carry here too. But the story is to give you another good bite with the king, even if you can take away something quite interesting, such as City Hall, Welcome Bee, and then leave a clear funnel to put both the dragons along with the mantas, dragons along with the air mode sentinel, with that double book that both the Eternal book and the Healing book carry. That you can also take the Anger one in the place of the Healing one. And then we carry double cloning to clone with the balloons, and that Rage the balloons we carry in the castle. Many times, for example, if we don't have the town hall at hand for our heroes, what we do is put in a warship and do that cloning in the center of the village. Looking for the town hall, try to take advantage of that cloning since you use a lot of spells, not with clonations, especially to remove important defenses. For example, if it is the town hall, it is a good defense, and if you don't try above all to remove more or less the center of the village, because normally dragons try to go outside the village. For this reason, if we have something that takes away that center from us, it will help us a lot. And the fighter. To top it off here, for example, I wear it with a shield and 3C spear, but you can wear it with whatever you like best. And in top 1, we have the super witches. And we're going to do a sentinel walk. It doesn't have to be very long, but you do have to try to clean yourself up. And with those invisibilities, direct the fireball and also help it with earthquake. That fireball to eliminate very potential defenses. There are many villages that concentrate many strong defenses together, which is a way to stop the wild druids. That's why we see so much of this style of villages. Therefore, this attack with that fireball can get enormous value, which is somewhat similar to the first repetition that we have seen that fireball is also used with this intention. Then here as normal, the siege barracks machine is used. The only thing that if you can make a flamethrower worth it, then a flamethrower is welcome. you know you can get a lot of value out of it in certain villages. But normal is a siege barracks. That's why I mean that, by the way, if you want to know more about this attack, explanation and so on, you also have a link in the description that I explained to you. But also look at this attack, what it is going to do here. Because it is going to use invisibilities, and this is what has to be done to cover defenses, to block them, because those defenses are not interested in putting the ball in, because those defenses are not interested in putting the fireball, but you have to look for the objective where you give value to the fireball. Then you attract the sentinel, for example with witches. Needles that are going to generate those little skeletons and so on, and also the healers are going to be taking care of the sentinel, and then that load of witches, that is that incursion, that style attack. What's more, and what must be done, is so that the witches do not leave out, well, to make a cut, for example, with the king or the queen. And normally I prefer with the queen, as I'm seeing here in this attack. Then we have Salto to continue moving forward with those witches as well. Also, the king of normal goes along with the witches inside. And the story is that when you put the king inside with the witches, then you also have the boots, the king's earthquake, which makes it break walls and open more paths for you so that they can continue advancing. You cover those witches with rage so that those healers, they continue to heal her all the time. Since they have a lot of life with that healing of healers, with anger, they withstand a lot of weight. And apart from that, the witches also have tanks. That is why they withstand the exclusion of the city council so well. And also many defenses very powerful. It is a very good choice. It is an attack, more styles, that is. It is not super complicated in that sense. That's why it's in the top one, because it's being the strongest. Even look here at what Change just did. I said, he hasn't used the king or the fighter. Hallucinate with this attack. I seriously recommend it. It is to release the fireball well, and with that you have almost half an attack. It may be an exaggeration, but I tell you that if you master it, you will get many full ones. Still, choose the army, which works better for you, and I want to read through comments which army you like the most. Which one are you using? If you would add an army to this top, I read them through comments. See you in the next video, and good luck in the attacks.